Hi BookTube, Sarah here and welcome to my channel. Today I am coming to you with my October 2020 TBR. Say it with me everybody, it's TBR time! Yay! I am so excited about October. So it's all about the spooky, mystery, and Christmas books. Definitely seasonal at this point. A lot of Christmas books, you guys saw that probably in my September TBR, that I'm working my way through a lot of the NetGalley holiday reads that I have, as well as I really want to add in a lot of spookier books for October because it's October and it's Halloween. And I am wearing my my Witch and Famous t-shirt, which I love. So, and I have my little witch friend here, and she's helping out today. So, I'm going to preface this by saying I have a lot of books on this TBR. And do I anticipate reading all of them? No. I'm not going to get through all of them, and I know that. I know I'm not being delusional. I'm not being, overambitious. I did not get through this many books in a month that I was off work. And now that I'm back to work, highly doubt I'm going to. But the one thing I've been finding, now I'm still not a mood reader. I just could not stand in front of my bookshelves and go, what do I feel like reading next? I am definitely a challenge reader. I like to pick books that fit specific challenges. But I have picked a lot of books here, guys. In total, I have 41 books. 41 books on my TBR for the month of October. Like I said, I know I'm not getting through all of them. But what I like now is that this allows me to be a bit of a mood reader because, and I did this in September too, because I had a lot of books on my September TBR and I didn't get through all of those either. But it allows me to say, okay, here's a snapshot of all the books that you are reading this month. From here, I can kind of do a, what do I feel like reading next kind of an idea. So that's essentially what's happening here. Now, there are, of course, ones that I want to get through for sure, and those are like the ones for the Fall Under Reading Challenge, my NetGalley books, and then outside of that, the rest of it is all essentially just gravy. So, but yeah, so I've got a lot of choice, essentially, is what this is. But they are all kind of broken down into categories. The only books I'm not going to talk about here are the ones for my Audible Escape to the End Readathon that I am co-hosting with Elizabeth from Lizzie Faye Loves Books, Nicole from Who Picked This Book, and Izzy from Happy For Now. I will leave a link to that, my announcement and TBR video in the description box below. It went up on last Friday. So you guys can see the 7 books that I picked for that challenge over there. So I'm not going to re-mention them here because it was literally just a few days ago that I did that. So anyway, let's go through everything else that I have to share with you. And as you can see, I actually have some physical copies here to show you. Whether I'm actually going to be reading them in a physical copy or not remains to be seen. But because I have 2 really thicker books to get through. So first one is, as I said, the Fall Under Reading Challenge. So this is a challenge that is hosted by Tia from Tia and All the Books, Rainy from Rainy Day Reads, Laura, and Kelly. And I will leave a link to all of their channels in the description box below. It's a 3-month-long challenge. So there was 2 different cards. One was a 15 prompt card and the other was a 24 prompt card. I'm doing the 24 prompt card. So it works out to 8 books per month. So that's why I've picked 8 books here, and I kind of cherry picked these to make sure that I kept the spookier ones for this, so yay. So the first one, for fantasy, for the category of fantasy, I'm going to be reading The Witches of New York by Amy McKay. This, I believe, is it is a fantasy, and I've had this on my radar to read for a while. I picked up a copy on Audible. I believe the author is actually Canadian, so I'm intrigued. And I've heard a lot of good things about this author, not necessarily about this book per se, but it sounds really interesting. It's a fantasy, which is, I believe it's a historical element too, so I'm very intrigued and interested. The next one is Supernatural, and this is actually going to be a reread for me. I read this book 5 years ago. I have a copy of it on audio, so I'll be listening to it again. It's narrated by, I think, the author, and that is True Ghost Stories and Eerie Legends from America's Most Haunted Neighborhood, and this is by David Domi. And this is, it all takes place in, I think, is it Lexington, Kentucky? And it's all about how haunted this neighborhood is. And it was really good the first time. It's a perfect read for October, and I cannot wait to read it again. Historical fiction. I decided I finally need to get this beast off my shelf. And I'm pretty sure I'm probably going to be borrowing this one on audio from the library. And that is The Witches, Salem 1692 by Stacy Schiff. Of course, a fictionalization of the Salem witch trials. I don't know why I have this interest in the Salem witch trials, but I do. And I bought this book years ago and I still haven't gotten to it yet. I believe I started reading it, but it's pretty dense. And I mean, to be fair, it should be. But I think, like I said, I'm going to snag it on audio from my library because there are a few copies available on audio. So I'm going to give this one a read then. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to finally getting to this one and getting it off my bookshelf. The next category here is thriller or horror, and I've been saving this one purposely, and I'm very excited, and that is Invisible Girl by Lisa Jewell. It's her new book, comes out in October. I do have an advanced reader copy of this one on e-copy, and I have no idea what it's about. I don't want to know because it's a thriller. I just want to go into it blind, but it's Lisa Jewell, and so far, she has not disappointed me, so I'm really looking forward to that. Next, we have Author of Color, and this is another one that is another thriller, and I'm really excited about it, and I've been so waiting for this one to read it. It came out last month. When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole. This is her foray, I believe, into thrillers. She's written, of course, historical romance. She's written contemporary romance. But here is her first thriller, and I am super, super excited. I'm here for it. I cannot wait. I think it's going to be fantastic, and yay, I'm really looking forward to it. Oh, it's going to be so good. I'm sure. Again, another author that has not disappointed me is Alyssa Cole. Next, we have my mystery, and this one's a little bit fluffier than the ones I've already mentioned, and that is Cherry Cheesecake Murder by Joanne Fluke. This is book number 8 in the Hannah Swenson Cozy Mystery series. Slowly working my way through this series. When I saw mystery was one of the prompts for this challenge, I decided to slot in one of the Cozy Mystery series that I'm reading, and I really do like this one. So, like this series, so I thought this one would be a lot of fun. Standalone. Another book that has been on my TBR for quite some time, or my want to read list on Goodreads for quite some time, and I'm like, it's about time I get to this. And that is Mrs. Houdini by Victoria Kelly. I believe this is also it's a historical fiction novel, but it is a standalone. And it's the fictionalization, I guess, of the life of Harry Houdini's wife. And, you know, all of these books kind of fit into that more spookier theme for the month of October. Like, mysteries can, even though the Cherry Cheesecake Murder is a little bit fluffy, but you know, it's still got that mystical, like it's a mystery. So, you know, and with this one, it's that more mystical element of the fact that he was the greatest magician of all time. And, well, you know, for his time. I mean, people might argue, you know, David Copperfield and stuff like that. But, you know, I think he's more of an illusionist. I don't know, would Houdini have been considered to be an illusionist? I guess so, eh? But yeah, I'm still really excited about this one, and especially because it's a historical fiction, and I love those so much. And the last one for the Fall Into Reading Challenge. You guys are going to be like, well, that one's not really spooky. But I could argue that it is. And for diverse characters, of Curses and Kisses by Sandia Menon. So this is a YA, and it is the first book in the St. Rosetta's Academy series. It's a retelling of Beauty and the Beast, is my understanding. But I would consider it scary because it takes place in a school, and I hated school. The idea of going back to school, like if it was offered to me, would terrify me because I really didn't like school. So, you know, that's a little spooky to me. But no, I love this author. She wrote the When Dimple Met Rishi series. And it is so, so good, and I'm really looking forward to this one. Especially being a Beauty and the Beast retelling, I think it's going to be really delightful. So yay on that one. So the next set of books here that I have are as I'm calling them, my NetGalley for the holidays. So I have 10 books here that I'm hoping to get through in the month of October that are all holiday reads that are coming out or have already come out that are holiday themed that I got from the publishers. So first one is A Sheriff's Star by McKenna Lee. This one is a Harlequin special edition novel, I believe. I'm really looking forward to this one, and the cover is just delightful, and I cannot wait to read it. The next one I'm so excited about is Kathy's Christmas Kitchen by Tilly Tennant, the new Tilly Tennant. Yay! Her new Christmas one. She writes a Christmas one every year, and I love them. This one looks adorable. Cannot wait. Then we have Christmas Reunion in Paris by Liz Fielding. This is a Harlequin romance novel. Looks, again, super, super cute. The 12 Dogs of Christmas by Lizzie Shane. Now, my friends Brie and Chloe have both read this one, and they both said that they really liked it, so I'm super looking forward to getting to it. We have Season of Joy by Annie Raines. This is the 6th book in the Sweetwater Springs series, and I've slowly been reading through this series, but like a book here and a book there. I'm not reading them in any kind of specific order. So this one came up from the publisher, so I went right ahead and said, yes, please, I want to read that one. We're getting a mystery in here with, I love the title of this book, Candy Slain Murder by Maddie Day. This is book number 8 in the Country Store Mystery Series. Don't know too much about it. It's a cozy mystery. It takes place at Christmas time. There's a cat. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Then we have One Family Christmas. Pardon me, I've got the hiccups. One Family Christmas by Bella Osborne. I got this one very recently. I think it sounds almost like a women's fiction bordering on a romance, so we shall see how that one goes. And then we have The Christmas Swap by Melody Carlson. This one looks really good. I think it's probably going to be a takeoff of that movie The Holiday, with 2 actors that I cannot remember the name of them. One was in Titanic. Was the other one in Charlie's Angels? I don't know names. I can't remember. I'm drawing a blank, but I think you guys know the movie that I'm talking about. Jack Black was in it too, I think. Anyway, I think it's a takeoff of that kind of an idea, but we shall see. And the last one is... Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. No, that's right. And the second and last one, excuse me. This one was sent to me by the Harlequin publicity team, and I'm obviously adding it in, and I cannot wait. And that is Alaskan Christmas Redemption by Belle Calhoun. This one looks really, really good. It's a love-inspired novel. So this one does come out in October. Super excited to get this one read. And then the last one is Her Cowboy Christmas. Yeah, Her Christmas Cowboy, I can read, by Jessica Clare. This is book 5 in the Wyoming Cowboy series. I have not read the previous 4. It's a cowboy Christmas story. I needed a cowboy Christmas story in here. I didn't have any. I only have... This is the only one. So yay. I am very, very much looking forward to it. Sorry, I don't know why I looked back there. So the next set of prompts, if you will, is what I call, or what is called the TBR Tackle. And this is put on by the Nothing But Reading Challenges group on Goodreads. And essentially what they encourage you to do is pick your own number, whatever it is, whether it be 1, 2, 10, 20 books a month that you want to get off your physical want to read list or your want to read list on Goodreads. And you just say you're going to read these ones, and they're just random picks off of that want to read list, excuse me. So I started this, I think, in June or July. So I'm doing 4 books a month. So the first, so for the 4 for this month, the first one, again, I went with the kind of spookier Halloween-y type theme here. We've got Saving Mariana, and this is by Lori Robinson. This is a Harlequin historical that takes place in Salem during the Salem witch trials. So it's a romance that takes place in Salem, Massachusetts. Okay, I looked at some of the reviews on this, to be completely honest, and they're not the greatest. Now, I love Lori Robinson. She wrote one of my very favorite historicals, the Diary of a War Bride. So her writing is wonderful. It's just, how is this going to be executed? Because a lot of people were like, hey, kudos to the author for trying something different. But the fact it takes place in Salem, I'm just, you know, I'm interested. I'm like, how is this going to work? So I need to read this one. So I'm looking forward to it. I've had it on my shelf for quite some time, and I'm glad to finally get to it. The next one, told you guys I had a lot of physical copies. I am looking forward to this one. I bought it last year, and I never got to it. I think I had it on my October 2019 TBR, and that is Pumpkinheads by Rainbow Rowell and Faith Erin Hicks. So this is a YA graphic novel, and it just looks so delightful. Oh, like just the art is just gorgeous. So it's about 2 friends who spend every fall working at like a pumpkin patch. And, you know, their friendship and maybe romance, I'm not too sure, but yeah, it looks super adorable, and I cannot wait to get to this one. And then we have, a book I bought very recently on, for the Kindle, and that is American Witches, A Broomstick Tour Through 4 Centuries, and this is by Susan Fair. So I think this is more of a non-fiction-y type book. We shall see. Because I did get the Kindle edition for like $1.99, I was able to pick up the audio copy of it for like $6 or $7. So I went ahead and got the audio for this as well. So I'm probably going to end up listening to it on audio, but it looks really good. I'm interested in this topic greatly, clearly. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this one a lot. And then the last one for my TBR tackle is Samhain's Secrets by Jennifer David Hess. And this is book number 4 in a Wiccan Wheel mystery series. So this is a cozy mystery series with a Wiccan witch as the female protagonist. And she is actually also a lawyer, and each of the books in the series has taken place during a different Sabbath. So this is, of course, Halloween, and I'm really looking forward to this one. I've had this one on my TBR for a while. I think it was Shannon over at Shannon Riddler. She read this one, and she really liked it, so I'm looking forward to it. Then I have what I'm calling my NetGalley backlist, just some of the other NetGalley books I'd like to try and get to this month. So we have The Darkness We Hide by Deborah Webb. This is book number 3 in the Undertaker's Daughter series. This is a mystery thriller, I believe. Deborah Webb does these very well. They're very, very creepy. Looking forward to this one. We have Pumpkin Spice Peril by Jen McKinley. This is book number 12 in the Cupcake Bakery mystery series. Another cozy mystery series. Again, pumpkin, Halloween, it fits. We have Midnight Abduction by Nicole Severin. This is book number 3 in the Tactical Crime Division series, a Harlequin intrigue series, I believe. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this one very much. And then Booked for Death by Victoria Gilbert. This is book number 1 in the Book Lovers B&B mystery series, and another cozy mystery series. The cover looks super cute, but again, it's a mystery, so it fits in with the whole October theme. So then, my friend Rainy over at Rainy Day Reads twisted my arm and encouraged me to participate in Victober, which is an event that is hosted. I cannot remember by whom off the top of my head, but I'll leave link to their channels in the description box below. So it's put on, and it encourages you essentially to read Victorian literature in the month of October. And a few months ago, or about a month or so ago, I picked up this book at Chapters. And because I've heard a lot about it, and I thought, okay, it looks spooky, maybe I'll try and read it in October. And then Rainey said that she had this book and she wants to read it as well. So Rainey and I are actually going to be buddy reading this in October. And that is The Woman in White by Wilkie Collins. I'm actually going to be listening to it on audio. So again, it's a denser book. It's a classic, Victorian classic, really small print. But I love the cover on this, and I think I picked this up for about $6. So maybe I'll like it. Trying to get another classic under my belt, so why the heck not? And yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. There are prompts for Victober. I'm not doing any of the prompts. I'm just going to try and read a couple of Victorian books, that's all. So the second book for Victober is kind of a bit of a cop-out because it's not truly Victorian literature, but it's to do with Victorian times. So this is actually a reread, and I've been wanting to reread this one for a couple of years, and I keep forgetting every time Nonfiction November rolls around. So I was going to do it this year for Nonfiction November, and then I thought, well, it works perfectly for Victober. So I'll use it for Victober, and I'm going to be rereading Unmentionable, The Victorian Lady's Guide to Sex, Marriage, and Manners, and this is by Therese O'Neill. I love this book so much. This was the first book that I ever read for Nonfiction November. This is the book that actually got me into reading nonfiction. Olive over to Book Olive, of course, who hosts Nonfiction November. She did a video and she talked about this book, and I loved it. So my library does have it on audio, but I think listening to it on audio might be a disservice. I really think that you need the print copy because there are so many illustrations and things like that in here. It's just delightful. So yeah, I'm really, really excited about reading this, rereading this, excuse me. I found it like really funny the first time around. So essentially what it is, it's pretty much, the premise is that if you were a modern woman and you were dropped into Victorian society, into Victorian times, what would your life be like? Clothing that you'd wear, places that you would go, what your home life would be like, everything like that. So it was really entertaining and really insightful, and made me realize that I would not want to ever live in the Victorian period. But yeah, so I am looking forward to rereading this one. And then, so that was Victober. Next up, we have my book club pick. So me and Brie and Chloe, my lovely friends, we run a book club called the Book Sisters, and in September we read The Lost and Found Bookshop by Susan Wiggs, and we picked 3 books and let you wonderful people who belong to the group pick the next book that we would read for October. I'll leave link to our Goodreads group in the description box below so you can get on and vote for October or November and December, excuse me. So the pick for October was Verity by Colleen Hoover. So I was really apprehensive about this one because my one experience with Colleen Hoover was the book Maybe Someday that I read about a year or so ago, and I hated it. I hate read through the last half of that book. I despised it. I thought it was horrible. So when it was suggested that we put this book on, I thought, okay, this is different than her contemporaries. I believe it's more of a thriller, so I'll give it a try. It is available on Audible Escape for those of you who have it for the next month still before it goes away, and you want to join us, please do. So yeah, I am looking forward to reading this one. I'm excited to see how different it is. And it wasn't anything to do with the author's writing. It was the situations that I did not agree with at all in Maybe Someday. It was not romantic to me in any way, shape, or form. It was pretty much an entire book about cheating. But we won't get into that whole rant again. But yeah, so that's the one. The next group is, of course, my Audible Escape books that I've already mentioned that I am going to leave the link to below. And then last but not least, I have 5 books here that I'm calling Just Because. You know, these are the books that I'm probably not necessarily going to get to. Same really as, you know, the Audible Escape ones I'm going to try to. But like the NetGalley backlist books and stuff like that, these are all books that are a maybe. These are the ones that I don't have to get to right away. But if I have time, I'll fit them in. So they're all, again, autumn, Halloween-y type themed books. So the first one is Sweet Alaskan Fall by Jennifer Snow. This is Wild River book number 3. I've read the first 2. I really like them, so I'm looking forward to the third book. The next one I happen to see on Amazon, and this is actually available as part of the Kindle Unlimited, if you have that. And it's called Autumn Skies Over Ruby Falls by Holly Martin. It's the second book in the Jewel Island series, but it looks really, really cute. Fall, I love it. That's my favorite time of year. And then I have a book I had meant to get to in September. But when I looked at it more, I realized it takes place over Halloween. So I decided to push it to October. And that is going to be Death Overdue by Alison Brooke. This is the first book in a haunted library mystery. It's another cozy mystery. Looks super cute. Cannot wait. And then this one. So, was it last year that I put that video out for, I did a video of Halloween romances. And I was doing a Google search on Halloween romances. And this book came up. And it's always been in the back of my mind for like the last year. Then about 3 weeks ago, I was on Thrift Books. And I decided to go ahead and order it. And I'm definitely going to be doing my very best to reading it this October. And this is an old school Signet Regency romance. So these are the ones that Steve Donahue loves. I have never read one of these, but I'm totally intrigued. And this is The Magic Jack-O-Lantern by Sandra Heath. Look at that, you guys. It's a Regency that takes place at Halloween. And it's something to do with like a sprite. Heiress Polly Peach, because of course her name is Polly Peach, has brought Halloween to Bath a few days early in the form of a disgruntled brownie. The invisible creature, once happy overlooking the family's country estate, has hitched a ride with Polly to search for his missing sweetheart. His inexplicable acts of mischief have society in an uproar. Does that not sound delightful? I just thought, why the heck not? I think it was like $3 or $4 on Thrift Books. So I picked it up. And I'm like, yay. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be really cute. But is it just me, or is print in books getting like super tiny? Like, am I just used to my Kindle at this point that this is just like, you know, it's weird. But anyway, yeah, I am looking forward to reading that one. It was not available on the Kindle, or I would have picked up a Kindle copy. But yay, I'm looking forward to that one very much. And then I have the very last book that I want to share with you guys for this TBR. Comes out in October. So this is not necessarily or technically a NetGalley backlist because it comes out in October. This one I think needs to get bumped closer to the head of the list because I really want to read it, and that's Crazy Stupid Bromance by Alyssa K. Adams. So excited about this book. The third book in the Bromance Book Club series. I love this series to pieces. You guys know that. First book I enjoyed. The second book I enjoyed more. I'm really hoping that this book I'm going to like even more. So we shall see. You know, time will tell once I get to it, but I'll of course keep you guys updated. So There we go, guys. That is the ridiculous, ridiculous, ridiculous October TBR. You know what? I have a ton of choice. That's the way I look at it. So I have an absolute ton of choice. What do I feel like reading? And if I can't necessarily just look at everything I have and say, I really don't know what I want to read yet, I just randomize the list and pick something. That's always been my go-to, is just to randomly pick my next book. So I've got a lot to choose from, a big stack here. Not all of these, of course, are going to be read physically, as I mentioned already. But yeah, I am really looking forward to October. So do let me know, you guys, in the comments below. What books do you plan on reading in October? Or have you read any of the books that I've mentioned here? And do let me know what you thought about them. And until my next video, everybody, take care and happy reading. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye, guys.